Hello and welcome to P&B's Wide World of Ports.
Hello.
We are doing our review of the MSC Seaside. We took a Western Caribbean cruise back in August and we stopped at Ocean Key, the private island, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico.
Yep.
So we're going to give you our list of pros and cons of the cruise and our impressions. Why don't you kick it off, Becca?
Okay, doing cons first? Is that what
Sure, yeah.
My first con is it was loud everywhere. Like we've been on MSC before. I mean, this was the loudest cruise ship I've ever been on. And I don't know if it was because it was so many people.
It was full to capacity, yeah.
And we try to avoid that usually because we're pretty lenient about our kids getting out of school for cruises and stuff. And so we thought we were kind of timing it right, but it was mid-August, and so not everyone was back in school.
Yeah, so
it was really loud.
I think everybody was trying to get that last vacation in before school started, but yeah, I mean, it was to the point, we were there with our friends, the McNeils from Here Today, Where Tomorrow, and it was hard to find a place where we could just sit down and talk and actually hear one another, so yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that one. My first one is no drinks allowed in the theater, which is crazy because most cruise ships have a bar right there in the theater, and they have little places to put your drinks. It would have been nice to be able to do that.
But if you have your own tumbler, you can bring that into the theater.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, if you get your drink and just pour it in there, you can take your drink.
Cruise hack.
101. Oh, am I up?
Back at you.
Okay, so not only was it loud everywhere, it was hot everywhere. Not sure if they had AC problems or I don't know. It was so hot everywhere.
That's one of my cons too. We did lose an engine, the next to the last day, which could have had something to do with it there at the end of the cruise. But we noticed it the first day we got on.
Yeah, and we usually, especially with Holly, she gets cold everywhere, so we always have a jacket. We never had to have a jacket, ever. It was hot.
That was actually on my list too. I'm going to have to agree with that. But my next one, I put the elevator system. So about a year prior, we sailed on the MSC Seashore, and they had the same elevator system where you type in what floor you're going to, and it assigns you an elevator. But we're kind of borrowing this one from Here Today, Where Tomorrow, because they said the same thing, that they're not clear with the instructions as to, do you type in the number of floor you're going to for the number of people you have in your party, which would make sense because then the system would know when the elevator is going to be full, because there were so many times where we stood and waited for an elevator and then it'd finally come open up and it would be jam-packed full with no room. So then we'd have to get assigned to another one. So we had no problems with that elevator system on the Seashore, and it just seemed to be a constant problem on the Seaside. So I think if maybe they just were a little more clear on instructions on how you're supposed to do it, then that would probably keep that problem from happening so much.
Agreed. And again, so many people.
Yeah, that had something to do with it too.
My next one is in the public bathrooms, there was never soap. And if there was soap, you had to really, really, really try to get it out. Also, there was no seat covers. I don't know if they're trying to cut down on their paper products. But there were toilet seat cover holders, but never any toilet seat covers and hardly ever any soap. So, I mean, it's not a huge con, but it definitely affects
Well, I mean,
them.
in this day and age when everybody's, trying to be sanitary and prevent the super spreader event, you would think soap would be a priority. Well, I didn't say the C word.
You can't talk about
Okay. Most of the tiled areas on the ship were slick. I mean, treacherous. We didn't see anybody fall, but I almost fell a few times. I think it was just the cold tile with the humidity coming in the doors or something, but you would think that they would have some type of anti-skid tile that they could put in there, but I seriously thought we were going to see somebody beef it pretty hard, and thankfully we didn't.
And people being so happy these days.
Yes. So thankfully all tragedies averted, so.
Yeah, that's all I had for cons.
Yeah, me too.
It was a great cruise. So do you want me to go for pros?
Yeah, go for it.
So late night snacks. So every cruise that we've ever been on has said that they have late night snacks, and sometimes it's maybe a sandwich or some cookies
Or a few
thrown
cookies,
out.
yeah.
Carnival has their all night pizza, but it's never like snacks. So on this ship, it was deck 16,
Biscayne Bay.
and it was an entire buffet: desserts, salad, some kind of meat that you cut. But they had pizza, they had pasta,
They had several different kinds of
Yeah.
pizza.
So it was an actual
And desserts,
late
yeah.
night.
It was, you could make a meal of it if you wanted to.
Started at 10:30 and was packed every single night. But we would go and just kind of socialize.
It was also noisy in there.
It's very loud and hot.
I put that too, the fact that there's 2 buffets. But because that one was also open during the day at certain times. And it was the only place where you could get included soft serve ice cream in a very narrow time window.
They did not have soft serve ice cream at night, did they?
Mm-mm. But it was nice to get out of the show and then stop in for a snack and
An actual snack.
yeah, or a meal
Yeah.
if you want a late night meal.
Well,
And
just a
then
treat.
talk to our friends and hope they could hear us. Okay, and I know I'm probably going to get some flack for this one, but I like the fact that the comedy was clean. And I know all ships offer a clean show, but they had Leland Clausen on, and he was a clean comedian. That's the only show that he does. And I'm not throwing any shade on people that like the non-clean. I mean, we've seen both shows, but I just like the fact that we could take our daughter there, because a lot of times when a comedian does 2 shows, in the first one, the family show, they'll like complain about it and say, well, I have to do this show, but if you want to see the real comedy, come to the 9 o'clock show.
Yeah.
And then they'll throw in a few innuendos and let 1 or 2 things slip. And it was just kind of nice to just know that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
When we've got our 7-year-old right next to us.
Who repeats everything and soaks everything up.
Yes. So I prefer my comedy served up clean, so that was just kind of nice to have that. So kudos to MSC, kudos to Leland Clausen.
Yeah. My next one is the Kids Club. I think MSC does a great job including the entire family. I think there's stuff for adults, stuff for teens, stuff for kids. We went to quite a few Kids Club events. Holly loved it. And any event that we went to, they were all engaging. They had so many different family events. They had the numbers game, the junior chef thing. They had a dance party.
They had a spooky night.
But yeah, I can't say enough good things about the Kids Club. I will say this though, if you do go to the Kids Club, and it's a scheduled dinner time or meal time, the kids have to go. They go to a little buffet where they have more kid options, but they have to go. And if they've already eaten, they just sit for an hour. So that was kind of weird. But they just do everything as a group, and they take all the kids and they all sit there for an hour and they eat and whatever, and then they go back.
Okay, my last pro, I did not think this would be on my list, but guest services. Our first MSC cruise together, they were not so good.
Not good.
And we only had really one issue, and it was a minor issue, but it just had something to do with they had my loyalty status wrong. So we went down there and had them straighten it out. But they were extremely friendly, extremely helpful, and I have nothing but good things to say about guest services on this cruise. So that was kind of nice to go down there and have a pleasant experience at guest services.
My last one was the private island. I think there's some people that don't like how small the private island is maybe, and say that there's not a lot of options, but I mean, we were there for 2 days and I honestly could have been there for 4 or 5 days. I mean,
or maybe 6,
possibly
or 7, maybe 8.
I don't know, maybe 9. But we love the beach right beside the boat. I think it's most refreshing. I mean, they have options for scuba diving and wave runners, and there's all kinds of things to do. We loved it.
They have a lighthouse you can go up in. And on that subject, and on the subject of kids as well, I think we said this on our cruise when we visited the island when we were on the seashore. If you have small children and you take them in areas where music is being played, they will hear colorful language.
Yes.
They do not make an attempt to censor that at all. So just FYI, be prepared.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd have to agree with the private island. And we actually got 2 days at the island this time around, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I loved it.
Yeah. And I didn't have this written down, but one last thing would be the water park on the ship, the kids area.
Oh yeah.
It was super fun. Holly loved it, and they have 3 really cool water slides that really enjoyed. So
Yeah. Get there early. Sometimes the time on your little sheet is not the same time that it says that the pool opens. So check the little sign at the pool and check your daily planner. If you get there really early, there's hardly anybody there and you can have it by yourself for an hour or so.
yeah, and we got there when it opened. And Rob and I went on the slides, and there was no line at all. So that was pretty cool. So Becca, MSC, would you do it again?
Absolutely. MSC is my favorite.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try this next year to get the whole family on an MSC cruise. It's gonna be difficult with logistics and everything, but obviously Holly was on this cruise, but our other kids have seen the videos and they see the water park and just how beautiful the ship is, and they're like, I want to go on that. So we're gonna try to make that happen. So
highly recommended.
yes. So thanks again to everyone who has watched our videos and subscribed. If you have not, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe. We are getting ready to go on another cruise in 5 days?
4 days?
4 days. It's coming right up on us. We're gonna have a whole new series of vlogs from the brand new
Celebrity Ascent.
We're gonna be cruising with our friends Mark and Stephanie from the cruise world, and so we're super excited about that. Super excited to bring you guys some more vlogs. So stay tuned for that.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm here with Holly, and we were just gonna get her opinion and her insight on our cruise on the MSC Seaside. So Holly, what was your favorite part about our cruise?
Probably going to the water park with Madison.
That was super fun, wasn't
Yeah.
it? What did you think of the private island with all the beaches and when we got to snorkel?
I loved it. It was so cool.
What was your favorite food on the cruise? I know the answer, but go ahead and say it.
Watermelon.
Okay, and tell me about the kids club. How was it on this ship?
Like, I loved it. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You'd go back if you could. All right. Well, we had a lot of fun on the cruise with you. So, well, Holly, thank you for sharing your experiences and your insight. Say bye.